Why, hello there, my name's DepthCharge2030, and today is day 28 of StormWatch Month. What is StormWatch Month? Well, StormWatch Month is basically, for the entire month of May, I have and still am talking about Stormwatch. And today we're talking about Stormwatch Volume 2, the new 52 one, Enemies of Earth. Yes, let's jump right in and talk about it. It's basically a collection of their adventures. It's not really carrying a big narrative. The only thing that they do carry in this story is kind of like what's going on with Harry Tanner and all that Eminence of Blade stuff. So, the first couple issues is basically just them dealing with this threat called the Kairzes. That's kind of how it's pronounced. It's like all these weird letters mangled together. And basically how they can kind of disentangle reality. So, when they're dealing with the the enemy just kind of snatches up Apollo and whisks him away, and then John Jones, Martian Manhunter, he's like, okay, this is how it is. These people are a threat to us and the Daemonites. You know, those guys going around and what's going on with Grifter's stuff? Yeah. Sorry. And then next thing they do is just say, yeah, we're going to go send Midnighter and Jenny Quantum to go fix this. And so when that happens, Midnighter he rescues Apollo, while at the same time Jenny Quantum goes and throws a bomb in the crazy stuff, and so she's like trying to get back in so they could leave. Except Midnighter is just like, sorry, but if I let you in, you might ultimately you prove too much of a risk for the rest of the world because of something, I don't know. He's like, you can explode or something, so I'm not gonna risk that. So he leaves her, but it turns out because she's like magic and stuff, not even magic, she's like science incarnate, so she actually wound up popping back over 5 minutes earlier, and so she's just like angry with him. She's like, I'm gonna kill you. I'm going to kill you one day. And then he's like, wait, stop, what? He's like, then he's like, booyah, suck it, Cyborg, I just stole your catchphrase, oh. And then they run into the Red Lanterns, which is interesting, because, Red Lanterns are more core 52, they're more with the core DC universe, like in the center. So it's nice to see them actually interact more with the main DC universe, but not directly interact with them. They kind of capture a Red Lantern, I forget his name, he's a goat guy, the goat skull guy, and so they kind of just cut that dude's hand off, and so they've got his lantern ring, and so Atrocitus just pops over and takes his pal back and says, you, Stormwatch, another name for the list, oh, and then he leaves, and then yeah. Then we just get into this other story with what's going on. They're running into, these people called the Devolvers, who kind of, devolve stuff. They've been, enemies of Stormwatch for, years. So they kind of fight those guys in their magic devolving box, while at the same time learning more about the Justice League, being like, we might have to fight these guys one day, if they pose too much of a threat to Earth. So yeah, which I find neat is that when Jack Hawksmoor's in Gotham, he's like, when he's trying to find out about Batman, he's actually just finds out more about the Court of Owls, which is a nice little, it's like saying, hey, Court of Owls, go read that. And yeah, I wish it'd be the other way around, so more people read this, but And so at the same time, they fight the Devolver, and then we kind of get more into the engineer's backstory, and how she just woke up one day after being injured and was like, yeah, I'm gonna need to be an engineer though, because it wasn't even willingly. She just woke up and was like, no explanations, she just woke up as the engineer. And so after that, the Devolver's gone now, and then we run into John Jones, the Martian Manhunter, and there's all these Nefertiti heads everywhere, and then they're like, hey, Jack Hawksmoor, contact, Martian Manhunter, and he'll inform you more on what these are. And he's like, who's Martian Manhunter? And then turns out Martian Manhunter, he's just going around wiping everyone's minds, and then we get this weird, crazy thing with Jenny Quantum about capturing boy band people and maybe doing things to them. I don't know. She's a teenager. She can think stuff. I won't judge. And then he just continues to go around wiping the memories of every core member. Apollo, Midnighter, and then even Jenny Quantum, the engineer. So then he just confronts the Shadow Lords. They're just like, "What are you doing?" He's like, "I'm needed elsewhere. Deal with it." And they kind of just go, "Okay." And then he just leaves. And then they just go, "Yay." And then we cut over to what Harry Tanner's doing. He apparently kidnapped one of the Shadow Lords and killed him, and is now becoming a Shadow Lord. So yeah, it ends on that note. What I think about this, it's actually a nice little collection of stories, but there's no real, like, narrative going throughout the entire collection. But we do see, like, what's going on with Harry Tanner. That's the only thing, like, bridging it all together. Besides that, it's just another random collection of stories. The art itself is good, but at times it gets kind of cartoony. But, I won't until we get to Jim Starlin's run. Then I'll talk about cartoony. But yeah, I really do like the art at times. It looks like it's straight out of, like, a science fiction thriller movie. And that's basically what this version of Stormwatch is. It's science fiction. It's like the Secret Service, yeah. And I do enjoy the fact that they're, like, going around learning more about some of the DC Universe characters. Like, that's kind of what this book kind of should have been, with them going around doing that. And again, we won't talk about that until we get to Jim Starlin's run a couple days from now. So, my name's Depth Charge 2030. Depth Charge, not Death Charge, just saying. Depth Charge 2030, signing out. This has been day 28. See you all tomorrow.